Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aquarius in mid-August 2021. What's going on, Aquarius? How are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing well. Aquarius, wherever you are in the world, I hope you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Please take good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, okay? No announcements here in mid-August, guys, so we will get into it. Anything you want from me, it's already in the description box. If you want to place an order with me and you have a question before you do that, just email me at the same address that you see listed down there, and I will answer you as soon as I can, okay? All right, let's get into it, guys. Messages for Aquarius, mid-August 2021. Messages for Aquarius, mid-August 2021. Me calling out the month and the year and all that stuff, that's just for cataloging purposes. It does not mean that the message has to happen in mid-August 2021. Could resonate from your from your past moments or up into your future yet-to-be experienced moments, okay? All right, let's see what's going on for Aquarius, mid-August 2021. Death. What a repeating energy. Major arcana for Scorpio. Could be dealing, don't have to be. And I'm getting portal here. The word portal has come through. Death, Two of Cups, Nine of Wands. Okay, so for some you have a significant relationship, a soulmate relationship of any type, karmic partner, twin flame, soul family, whatever label you want to put on it. But there is a energetic, soulful connection you have with a person that you're kind of like apprehensive of, afraid of, wounded by. There we go. That's one for a good portion of you. You already know this person, you're connected with them currently, and it's brought a lot of wounding out in you. Or you've experienced a lot of hardship and adversity in this relationship, either within it or because of it. Either within it or because of it. Interesting. Okay. So, Aquarius, I think some of you struggle to accept this relationship or persevere in it. There is a distinct challenge in being with this person. Society may challenge you, your family and friends may challenge you, or again, as partners, as two people who are sharing a link, you may challenge each other. There are good sides to the challenge and not so great great sides to the challenge, right? There's this feeling of being possibly inspired or feeling ready to take on the challenges, like not having anything, like having no fear, feeling fearless, feeling brave. There you go, that's the word. Feeling brave and ready to step into it and take whatever comes. But then there's also, from the same energy, from the same card, there's also this energy of feeling exhausted, feeling like the challenge is too much and I can't bear it anymore, or I can't bear the thought of even beginning it. So it's a mixed bag, this energy, Aquarius, which makes sense. It's a general reading. But I think this being in the center, the Two of Cups, there is no denying that there is some person, doesn't have to be romantic, that you want in your life, or you feel drawn to, and you can't control it, you can't mitigate it, you can't get rid of it. Now, there's plenty of work you can do to quote-unquote get rid of soulmate relationships, but this is not the place for that. This is not the time for that. Seek that out on your own. But I'm feeling you are very aware that you're like magnetized to this person, for good or for bad, for better or for worse. Yes? And this relationship in some way has or will change you. Death. You are meant to be in each other's lives, to challenge each other, yes, and to change each other, to help each other grow. Maybe I shouldn't say change, because maybe you're thinking like that means change your personality, that means, change your habits or something like that. It doesn't, that's not how I mean change, but to evolve each other, to help each other elevate to a higher awareness, to a higher connection point. Now, that for some of you can mean this person challenges you and pushes you to another soulmate. Because this Nine of Wands is like, again, in some of your cases, having had enough, can no longer muster the effort to continue where you are. And so then the challenge or the point of growth is to push you towards another soulmate, or a true, for lack of a better word, a truer soulmate. In my estimation, I've said this a while ago, and I stopped giving my personal caveats about soulmates because not everybody agrees, and you don't have to. But one of the things that I've come to learn is soulmates come in all varieties of ways, and they have all kinds of purposes. And some of the purposes, not to say it's okay, but is to really drive us crazy, is to really put us to our paces, and to really, in some cases, drag us through some misery. And on the other side of that, if you now become more resilient, if you become more aware of yourself and your standards and what you will and will not put up with in any type of connection, any type of relationship, if you learn self-worth, self-value, if you learn the ways in which you have been a self-saboteur, right? If you learn that with a relationship with a person that leaves a bad taste in your mouth, that doesn't mean they're not your soulmate. That's my opinion. You do not have to agree. But I think if you understand, or at least use the terminology karmic partner, like, what is that? So I don't want to get into it in terms of my belief and the way that I perceive things, but I think most people do agree, but I've had some people be like, I don't really agree with what you said. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to stop saying it, because I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm here to deliver the messages and try to convey them the way that I know best. And oftentimes, that's telling a person things they don't want to hear. The person who you've had a crummy relationship with, family, friend, lover, whomever, they could be a soulmate to you, absolutely. And you're like, but I kind of don't like them a lot. I kind of detest this person. They have hurt me. They have made me angry. They have betrayed me. They have done all these horrible things to me. How could this person be my soulmate? Are you learning lessons from them? Are you feeling different after being in connection with them? Are you the same person that you were at the beginning of knowing this person as you are at the end of knowing this person, or being significantly connected with them? If the answer to those things is, well, no, I am different, or yes, I am different, then that's a soulmate to you, even if it was unpleasant. So, there's different stories in here, different, you could be having, Aquarius, you could be having simultaneous stories or overlapping soulmate connections at this time. That's why I see it as both a person that you could idolize and love very much, and you could also be talking about somebody that you're less than a fan of, right? So both of those connections could be incredibly significant to you. And the word portal. I got the word portal when this card flipped over, right? So for some of you, you literally have to go through a particular portal, whatever that means. It might be a physical portal. It might be a physical place. But I think it's more of a dimensional or multi-dimensional portal, or spiritual portal, something like that. But I feel like on one side of the portal is one particular connection or one quality of a connection, and on the other side of the portal is a totally different connection or a totally different quality of connection. And both are significant, or both sides of the portal are significant to you. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Change, transformation. Again, I don't necessarily want to think, I don't want you to think of it as like change who you are. I think it's more about perspective, awareness, transcending something. And also not begrudging where you've been, or who you've been before, or whom you've been with before. Not looking at what you have experienced in a negative light. Be as released from any type of emotional response to it as possible. Not saying it's okay that you suffered at the hands or actions of another person. Not saying that you have the love of your life, but they or you are just incapable of continuing on with the relationship, and not saying like that, God, I can't even get it out the right way that I want. But I hope you get what I'm saying, which is, no matter how you slice this, Aquarius, you do have a soul connection of significance, and your perception of it might be the thing that needs to be altered. Or as you move through the portal, it will naturally be altered, if that makes sense. So maybe at a certain place in time, maybe after a certain revelation, a certain experience, you gain the awareness that allows you to transcend, that allows you to progress in some type of way, either towards someone, away from someone, going from this person to that person, this connection to that connection, whatever it may be. And for many of you, this isn't about love or romance. This is, or excuse me, romantic love. This is about familial love. This is, coming to terms with a relationship that you've strained, or possibly a very vexing relationship you've had with your parents. And that somehow is going to have a more positive effect, or allow you to have a more expansive and like how I just took that breath, like a calming, centered relationship with romantic partners. Like if you square things up with your childhood, if you square things up with how your parents were, or how your older siblings were, or that, damn uncle of yours who was always a prick to you, right? If you can square that, you then have better relationships with your friends, with your potential spouse or your dating partners. Do you understand? So the portal might not even seem as if it's connected. And that's the thing about like a cosmic portal or a mystic portal or anything like that. They don't have to correspond to how we perceive doorways, right? If you open the door to your house, and you tend to go outside, you intend to see whatever exists outside your house. You open the door to the front, your front door, and you're all of a sudden, in a submarine. That doesn't make sense, right? But cosmically speaking, it very much does make sense. In your brain, the way that we perceive here on Earth, those two things cannot exist. You can't open a front door to a home and you walk into a submarine, however many, leagues under the sea. What is this, like Doctor Strange? That's not possible, but to the universe it is. And therefore those two things on either side of the portal are very much connected. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, so let's get more on this, and then we're going to get a card of advice at the end, and then we're going to wrap up. But let's get more on this first before we get to the wrap-up point. So what else is going on here for Aquarius? Give me more information here for this regarding... Or excuse me, for this story, for this story for Aquarius. Thank you. Eight of Wands. All right. So it might benefit you to discuss these things with an Emperor figure. Oh, and there you are. Your card also has repeated a lot this month. All right, so Emperor, Aries, Star, Aquarius, could be dealing, don't have to be. So I think it might behoove you to speak honestly, maybe not with the people or the person that you feel is your significant soul partner. Could be just speaking with anyone else. But in some of your cases, it might be beneficial to talk to the person or the people. And maybe you're not ready for that. Maybe that's their intention. Maybe that's what they desire. Maybe they are the person who wants to get it all out there and really clear the air or find some sense in the situation. I feel there's a lot of purpose, a lot of intention and purpose behind these Eight of Wands. There is this don't want to miss the shot, don't want to miss the opportunity. And I don't really see cards of avoidance other than the Nine of Wands and maybe a little bit of the Death. So it could be that the air or the atmosphere is clearing so that you and this person can come to some understanding. Maybe for some of you, you might want to seek counsel with a person who is Emperor feels like they know what's going on, but they're not necessarily the center of the action. So this could be a trusted friend. This could be somebody who, again, they're not involved, but they definitely have, they want, I don't want to say they want a particular outcome. If this is a friend of yours, they're on your side. This is a good friend to you. If they are not on your side, they would be a very good objective person to have. So this could be a therapist, this could be a counselor, this could be a judge, or some other person like that. Some person who would be able to hear your side of the story, but not, sugarcoat things for you and not give you the answers you want to hear. This person's going to give you the answer that best serves you. Even if it's, Aquarius, you're being dumb. You're being dumb as fuck right now. Like, if that's what this person says, whether they know you or not, that is kind of, their objective is to get you to see what the truth is, or get you to see things from a different perspective. Let's say it that way, a different perspective. So this is somebody who, if they're in your corner, they're giving you tough love, Aquarius. If you're being a butt about things, if you're being kind of silly about things, they're going to let you know. If it's the other person or other people who are doing the most and you are in the right, they're going to tell you that too. They have no bones in telling you how they perceive the situation, and possibly giving you some strategic advice. If not strategic advice, just advice. But I feel very strategic. So this could be a person who, maybe you don't necessarily have it in you to talk to a person verbally. This is somebody who you write a letter, you write an email, you compose a text, and then you send this person the draft, and they're like, okay, make these edits, or I don't really understand what you say when you say this, I would suggest you do it this way, or they say, oh God, this whole thing is garbage, don't even send the message this way, get on the phone and talk to the person. So they're, again, giving you this solid advice. Star energy on the end here. Aquarius, I think you really want to come to terms with something, get to a peaceful place with something. I think some of you are on the precipice of something really great, or something is moving in a very distinct direction. It's okay, you know what it is? It feels like catching up to a train or catching up to a bus. And not like you're missing an opportunity, but it's like because you have been exhausted or you've been putting a lot of yourself on the line, something like that, there's this feeling of you're gonna catch the bus, you're gonna catch the train, but you gotta hustle to get there. So it's like this imperative feeling. And again, I don't think it's a chance that you'll miss it, because this feels super solid. 2 of Cups, Emperor, 8 of Wands feels solid too, and the Death is sort of like this inevitable thing. So it comes when it comes. It's not, you can't miss death. None of us can. We're all going to go there eventually, right? So there's no chance that you can miss this, but there might be some hustle that you need to get there. And once you, think of it, when you're rushing to catch a bus or rushing to catch an elevator, or you're rushing out the door because you're late for an appointment, once you get there, I've seen it plenty of times. People come into a waiting room when they're late for a meeting or an appointment, and they're just like, okay, all right, let me settle. Okay, and a woman, she'll go through her purse, or, a guy might, whip out his phone. Okay, make sure I didn't miss any texts and blah, 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 blah. It's like that moment where you're getting your bearings together. So strangely, that's a place where you want to be. This star energy is that recalibration moment. It's that moment where you get on the bus, you sit down, you catch your breath, and you're like, I'm on my way. I thought I would miss it. I thought I was going to be late. I thought I would have to wait another 15 minutes or da-da-da-da, but I made it. It's like this knowing that you made it sense. Star. And that's what you want. And I think it will happen, because this feels mostly solid. Like, practically inevitable that this is going to happen. And again, this is not for several of you about a romantic relationship. This is you getting to be to a point where you realize your best friend is your soulmate, or realize your cat is your soulmate, and there's something wonderful in that. If you have a soulmate situation that is pleasurable. Some of you, it's like, ugh, I'm dealing with a soulmate, but man, I can't wait to get rid of this person. And if and that could be, you're running to catch the bus moment. Now that me and this person are completely out of each other's lives, or we've reached a point where we're not as entwined as we were, I can rest easy. I can breathe easier, All right, so let's get some advice here for Aquarius, and then we're done with your reading. What is the advice for Aquarius, please, in this situation? Please show me the advice card for Aquarius in the reading, please. Advice for Aquarius. Chariot in reverse. Well, I think this is signaling to have patience. Major Arcana for Cancer, you could be dealing, but you don't have to be. I think this is signaling, don't rush it. Don't pressurize yourself into making a decision that isn't really what you want. I think some of you realize, interesting. Some of you are considering, pondering in your mind, like maybe I made the wrong choice so many years ago or however long ago. Like maybe to inject a little bit of romance here at the end, just for illustrative purposes. It doesn't mean it's for everybody. Maybe you have a significant relationship right now, Aquarius. You may have married someone, or you're long-term committed to somebody, and you chose this person over someone else. This could be you're mulling it over in your head that I should have chosen the other person. Like the other person that, was an option is the real soulmate. And this person I'm with that I chose however long ago, they're a soulmate too, but maybe they're, quote unquote, a karmic partner. Both people are significant to me. I feel my heart chakra, I feel lit up from the inside when I'm with both of them, but the tone of it, the quality of how I'm lit up is different. For an example, some of you may have gotten into a relationship for financial reasons. No shame. I'm not calling anybody out. These are reasons that people do things. For financial relationship or financial reasons. You may have had a long-term boyfriend, girlfriend that simply turned into you, not simply, but turned into your husband or wife because you guys were together for so long, it seemed the natural progression of things. And now, not even now, because some of you, it's like reflecting back, because this coming out in the reverse gives me this feeling of reflecting back over, looking back over in the rearview mirror, over your shoulder, considering something from the past. So, again, maybe you were together for a long time with somebody, transitioned into a marriage and or a deeper commitment, and then possibly, there's this feeling of, what if I had chosen that person instead? Are they my soulmate? Maybe you guys have been friends this whole time. Maybe you've recently reconnected with this person. Maybe you see them from afar and they don't even know anything about you, but you feel like, man, that's the life I should have had. And it's not jealousy, it's not envy, it's not necessarily regret. It's just this curiosity of, what if it was something else? What if this other person was meant for me just as much as I feel at this time, or at some time this other person was meant for me? Does that make sense? Another reason people get together. It's not here per se, but you do have a father figure here in the Emperor. So you might be in a relationship where, for the convenience of children or creating a family, we win a certain way. Even if, gosh, that's kind of rude because it's calling out a culture, and I don't want to offend anybody, but it's almost like maybe some of you had like an arranged marriage or like a shotgun wedding kind of thing, where outside of myself, I made this decision for the benefit of my kids because my parents said it was the right match for me, or culturally, religiously, I can only marry within this certain religion or this certain ethnic group or something like that, or culture. Yes? So we do things because of what we feel is obligatory towards others. My children need a father. My children need a home. My mother and father, they want me to, I have to be respectable. I have to uphold the values of my culture, of my heritage, etc., right? So then we sign on for things that we don't necessarily agree with. Not knocking it. That's your path. That's your cross to bear. But there's this feeling of, I did it, and now I'm over it. Or I've done it, and look at me now. I'm burnt out. I'm unhappy. I have a soulmate, but I kind of think there's another person for me. That kind of thing. Aquarius, we're going to leave it there because I've really gone pretty deep with this advice card. I don't think that this is necessarily telling you what to decide or how to decide. I think it's illustrating the way you're thinking. And what you do with that, if that affirms something for you, if that confuses things further, I apologize, but I think this is just merely indicating that you need not take action so soon because maybe you've already done that before. I don't know. See? And they're like, stop. They're like, you said you were going to stop, so I'm going to stop. Aquarius, that's your reading for mid-August. If this reading resonated, if you found something here that you liked, like the video, leave a comment, share the video, subscribe to the channel. All that fun stuff helps supports me as a reader here on YouTube. And if you want to get at me for a personal, you can look in the description box and see how to go about doing that, okay? Aquarius, I thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Take care.